UFC 298, Volkanovski versus Topuria is this Saturday, and for each fight, including the prelims, I'm going to go through the results of my 7 data science prediction models, the results of my 1,000 fight simulations, discuss fighter stats and advantages, show you a data analysis for each matchup, give you my final picks, and show you bets that you might want to consider based on these models and data, along with the probabilities and potential returns of those bets. Please like and subscribe if you find this interesting, informative, or helpful, as it helps keep me motivated in creating these videos. Running the data and analysis, the prediction models, the fight simulations, charts and graphs, and updating everything on the site takes hours every day and week, so I'd really appreciate the support. Let's jump right into it. First, let's take a quick look at a recap on how we're doing. We're averaging 66% accuracy across every single fight and 64% across the last 10 events. First fight, we have Andrea Lee versus Miranda Maverick. Andrea Lee and Miranda Maverick come into this flyweight fight with Maverick being the younger fighter by 8 years, but Lee boasts a significant reach advantage of 4 inches. While both fighters weigh in at 125 pounds, Lee's experience is reflected in her higher significant strikes landed per minute rate of 4.9 compared to Maverick's 3.7. However, Maverick's significant strike accuracy is superior at 59%, indicating her precision in striking could counterbalance Lee's volume. The radar chart explains distinct aspects of Lee's and Maverick's games. Lee shows a well-rounded skill set with particularly high takedown defense and significant strike accuracy, hinting at her ability to keep the fight standing and land efficiently. Maverick, while having lower metrics, presents a balanced profile that could translate into an adaptable strategy come fight night. Lee's stats dominate in takedown defense and significant strike accuracy, signifying her ability in keeping the fight on her terms and mitigating damage. Maverick's advantages, shown in red, notably include a higher win percentage from her 5 most recent fights and a superior average of takedown attempts per 15 minutes, suggesting a potentially more aggressive approach to bringing the fight to the ground. This is what I call differential stats. I take the difference of each stat, and whoever has the positive outcome gets that advantage. So Lee shows a favor in significant strike attempts, reach, and height, which plays a critical role in controlling the distance. Maverick's edge is in total wins and takedown attempts, which indicates her tendency for a grappling-heavy game plan and her overall success in MMA. Let's take a look at the 1,000 fight simulation results for this individual fight. So the favor leans heavily towards Andrea Lee, who emerges victorious in 69.7% of the simulations. This large margin underscores Lee's potential to dictate the fight's pace and outcome through her striking and takedown defense. This graphic shows a macro perspective of which models are favoring which fighters. So looking at the prediction models, most of them tilt towards Miranda Maverick despite Lee's edge in the simulations. The models seem to account for a wide range of variables, suggesting Maverick's younger age and recent win streak could play significant factors in the fight's outcome. Taking all of this data into account, I calculate a final 60% chance of victory for Miranda Maverick. While the simulation and some stats favor Andrea Lee, the comprehensive model predictions lean towards Maverick, which could be due to her strategic grappling and accuracy. Based on the combination of this data, it's likely that if Maverick secures the win, it'll be through a grinding decision where her takedown attempts and accuracy outmatch Lee's striking volume over the distance of the fight. In the next fight, we have Oban Elliott versus Val Woodburn. Oban Elliott comes into the fight with a 9-win, 2-loss record, showcasing a substantial striking volume at 3.87 significant strikes per minute with an impressive accuracy of nearly 49%. Val Woodburn, holding a 7-win, 1-loss record, may not match Elliott's output, but compensates with a 2-inch reach advantage. Elliott's age advantage might also factor into his agility and stamina within the octagon. The radar chart emphasizes Elliott's striking precision and defensive skill with superior figures in both significant strike accuracy and takedown defense. Woodburn's chart, while showing lower stats, points to an area where he could potentially improve and surprise Elliott, especially considering his reach advantage. The bar chart highlights Elliott's dominance in key areas such as takedown defense and significant strike accuracy. While both fighters lack takedown averages, Elliott's defensive metrics suggest he's more equipped to keep the fight standing, playing to his striking strengths. Taking into account the various statistics and other implications, I calculate a 71% chance of victory for Oban Elliott. Unfortunately, there's not enough data to run these guys through the model, and you'll see that in a few of the fights tonight. but the statistics lean towards Elliott's proficiency in striking and his defensive acumen as the key factors. While Woodburn has the physical attributes to make it a competitive fight, Elliott's skill set is likely to dictate the pace and method of the fight, possibly resulting in a decision win due to his striking volume and accuracy. In the next fight, we have Josh Quinlan versus Danny Barlow. Josh Quinlan and Danny Barlow are matched closely in weight, with a slight height and reach advantage for Barlow. Quinlan's record of 6 wins and 1 loss and Barlow's undefeated 7 wins and 0 losses suggest a close anticipated contest. Barlow impresses with a significant strike landing rate of 12 per minute at a very high accuracy of 57%, overshadowing Quinlan's 3.7 strikes per minute at a 41% accuracy. However, Quinlan shows proficiency in grappling with a 12.5% takedown accuracy, although it's not a prominent feature for either fighter. The radar chart visually displays Barlow's striking advantage with both higher volume and accuracy, contrasting with Quinlan's balanced profile but lower stats. Quinlan will need to leverage his takedown ability to offset Barlow's striking dominance. The bar chart emphasizes Barlow's overwhelming advantage in significant strike accuracy and the volume of strikes landed per minute. Quinlan's defensive capabilities in takedown defense are comparable to Barlow's, indicating a potentially defensive strategy against Barlow's offensive onslaught. Considering the statistical analysis and the fighters' profiles, I foresee a challenging matchup for Quinlan. Barlow's striking precision and volume combined with his significant reach could be the deciding factors. Unfortunately for this fight, I don't have enough data to run them through the model. It's just not available, but I calculate a 62% victory chance for Danny Barlow. The fight is likely to be dictated by striking, with Barlow potentially securing the win through a unanimous decision given his impressive rate and accuracy of strikes landed. In the next fight, we have Zhang Mingyang versus Brenson Ribeiro. Zhang Mingyang, at 25 years old, will step into the octagon with a height of 6 feet 2 inches tall and a reach of 75 inches. His record stands strong at 16 wins, 6 losses, with a notable significant strike rate of 8.86 per minute and a precise striking accuracy of 58%. Brenson Ribeiro, who's 2 years older, has a slight height advantage at 6 feet 3 inches tall and a significant reach advantage of 81 inches. Ribeiro's significant strike rate per minute is a bit lower at 8.46 with an accuracy of 46%, suggesting Zhang may have the slight edge in striking efficiency. The radar chart comparison shows Zhang with a slight edge in significant strike accuracy. However, Ribeiro seems to have a better takedown defense, which could be crucial if the fight goes to grappling. This chart sets the stage for a classic striker versus grappler match, with each fighter having their own strengths to go by. So when you visualize their skills on the bar chart, it reveals Zhang's advantage in significant strike accuracy, which is highlighted in black. Brenson, who's highlighted in red, shows his ability in takedown defense, average takedowns per 15 minutes, and significant strikes absorbed per minute. This illustrates a contrast in their styles, with Zhang's precision striking pitted against Ribeiro's defensive grappling. Although this is another fight I could not run through the models because of unavailable data, I calculate a final 57% probability of Zhang Mingyang winning the fight, with the striking advantage identified for Zhang and a takedown grappling edge for Ribeiro. The prediction aligns with the statistical analysis, suggesting a competitive battle where each fighter's primary skill set will be tested. It'll be a battle of strategy and adaptation, with each fighter's success hinging on their ability to impose their game plans. In the next fight, we have Rinya Nakamura versus Carlos Vera. Rinya Nakamura boasts an undefeated record of 8 wins and no losses. He steps into the octagon with a significant height advantage at 5 feet 7 inches tall and a reach of 68.5 inches. At the age of 28, he brings a youthful intensity to this fight, coupled with a formidable significant strike accuracy of 59% and an impressive takedown average of 4.23 with a high accuracy of 86%. His opponent, Carlos Vera, stands at 5 feet 6 inches tall with an identical reach of 69.5 inches. However, being 8 years older at 36, Vera's experience in the cage could play a pivotal role despite the lack of available data on his fight statistics. The radar chart illustrates Nakamura's strengths, particularly highlighting his striking accuracy and takedown defense. It's important to note that this does not necessarily indicate a weak performance from Vera, but rather just an absence of his data on this chart. This could suggest that Nakamura's strengths are well documented, whereas Vera's capabilities remain a bit less quantified. Now for the bar chart, again, unfortunately, the absence of Vera's stats in red indicates that while Nakamura shows strong metrics, we can't fully assess the comparison without Vera's complete data. I calculate Nakamura has an 84% probability of defeating Vera based on what stats we have available, which indicate that Nakamura seems to be a formidable force with a well-rounded skill set in striking and grappling. Vera's challenge will be to leverage his presumably extensive experience to mitigate Nakamura's statistical advantages. The fight presents a clear, classic scenario of an emerging talent pitted against a potentially seasoned competitor where strategy and adaptability will be key. In the next fight, we have the heavyweights. We have Marcos Rogerio de Lima versus Justin Tafa. De Lima, at 6 feet 1 inch tall and 262 pounds, brings a wealth of experience into the cage with a record of 21 wins, 10 losses, and 1 draw. Notably, at 38, he stands as the older and slightly lighter fighter compared to Tafa, who weighs in at the heavyweight limit of 265 pounds. Tafa, 8 years younger at 30, will leverage a 1-inch reach advantage and a higher significant strikes landed per minute of 5.13 against De Lima's 3.6. This could indicate Tafa's more aggressive striking pace, although De Lima boasts a higher significant strike accuracy of 67%. As far as the radar chart goes for these two, Marcos Rogerio de Lima has the notable advantage in takedown accuracy, while Justin Tafa has the advantage in significant strikes landed and takedown defense. The bar chart further illustrates the statistical advantages in De Lima's favor across several metrics, including takedown accuracy and significant strike accuracy. Tafa's stats show he has the advantage in significant striking volume, which is a crucial factor in this division, which is known for knockouts. Differential stats highlight De Lima's substantial experience advantage with a greater number of total wins and strikes landed, suggesting a seasoned fighter with proven capabilities. Tafa's advantages include avoiding and landing more significant strikes and landing more knockdowns. Fight simulations overwhelmingly favor De Lima, with him winning 78% of the simulations. This high win percentage from those simulations really show De Lima's potential to control the fight with his experience and his tactical skill. Prediction models largely support De Lima as the favorite here, with most models indicating a higher likelihood of his victory. Tafa's chances are reflected as lower, but you never know in this division. You're always one strike away from the tables being turned. Taking everything into account, I calculate a 58% chance of victory for Marcos Rogerio de Lima. The stats suggest De Lima's experience and precision could be the deciding factors. However, heavyweight fights are kinda unpredictable, and Tafa's power means he's never out of contention. The likely method of victory for De Lima could be by utilizing his well-rounded skills to earn a decision win, or possibly securing a stoppage if he can capitalize on his accuracy and Tafa's aggressive style. In the next fight, we have Amanda Lemos versus Mackenzie Dern. The matchup between Amanda Lemos and Mackenzie Dern shows a close competition in the women's strawweight category. Both fighters stand at 5 feet 4 inches tall, but Lemos, at 36 years old, brings a more experienced skill set against the 30-year-old Dern. Lemos, with a reach advantage of 65 inches over Dern's 63 inches and a slightly higher significant strike accuracy, appears to have the edge in stand-up combat. The radar chart illustrates a stark contrast in their fighting styles. Lemos shows superior takedown accuracy and defense, suggesting a balanced approach to both stand-up and the ground game. Dern, however, has a tendency for absorbing more strikes, even though her significant strike defense is better here, and this indicates a potential toughness or a tendency to leave some openings. The bar chart analysis indicates Lemos has advantages in significant strikes per minute and takedown accuracy, while Dern excels in submission attempts and takedown attempts. The visual comparison underscores Lemos' striking and defense versus Dern's grappling ability. The differential stats highlight Lemos' reach and takedown defense as their significant advantages, with Dern outperforming in the volume of strikes attempted. This suggests Lemos might keep the fight at a distance, while Dern may look to close the gap and engage more aggressively. From 1,000 fight simulations, Dern emerges slightly ahead with a 52% win rate compared to Lemos' 48%, suggesting a nearly even match where either fighter has a strong chance to claim victory. The prediction models are leaning slightly towards Mackenzie Dern, as most of them are choosing her to be the winner in this fight. Despite the weighted prediction models favoring Mackenzie Dern with a 52% chance of victory, my final prediction goes kind of against that consensus, giving Amanda Lemos a 52% chance of winning. The nuanced analysis of their respective strengths, Lemos' reach and precision in striking versus Dern's grappling, indicates a closely contested match. However, given Limos's advantages in significant strike accuracy and takedown defense, I foresee a scenario where she maintains distance and utilizes her striking to secure a decision victory. In the next fight, we have Anthony Hernandez versus Roman Kopylov. In this middleweight matchup, both Anthony Hernandez and Roman Kopylov stand at an even 6 feet tall, but Hernandez has a slight weight advantage. Hernandez shows a lower significant strikes rate per minute at 4.33 compared to Kopylov's at 4.72, but with a higher accuracy of 66%. His takedown average and accuracy also far exceed Kopylov's, indicating a more versatile skill set in both striking and grappling. The radar chart outlines key differences in their fighting styles, with Hernandez displaying a better rounded game in takedown accuracy and defense. Kopylov, despite a higher rate of significant strikes landed, shows less proficiency in takedown metrics, which could be a disadvantage if the fight goes to the ground. The bar chart comparison reveals Hernandez's clear superiority in takedown accuracy and submission attempts, suggesting that Kopylov may struggle in grappling exchanges. Kopylov's bar shows a higher volume in significant strikes per minute, which could be an advantage if he keeps the fight standing. The differential stats emphasize Hernandez's advantages in takedowns attempted, takedowns landed, and submissions attempted, indicating he is likely to control the fight if it goes to the mat. Kopylov will need to leverage his striking to avoid being taken down and to dictate the pace of this fight. The 1,000 fight simulations heavily favor Hernandez with a staggering 93.7% win rate over Kopylov's 6.3%, showing a significant likelihood of Hernandez emerging victorious in this contest. Model predictions across various methodologies also support Hernandez as the favorite, with the majority predicting his victory over Kopylov, who has fewer models going for his favor. Considering all of the data, I calculate a 60% chance of victory for Anthony Hernandez. His ability to execute takedowns and control the ground game, coupled with his striking accuracy, positions him as the likely victor. The fight could very well end on the ground, with Hernandez securing a win through submission, though. In the next fight, we have Merab Dvalishvili versus Triple C Henry Cejudo. Merab Dvalishvili enters the octagon with an impressive record of 16 wins and 4 losses. He stands at 5 feet 6 inches tall and weighs in at 136 pounds. At 33, his stats show a substantial striking rate of 4.46 significant strikes per minute with an accuracy of 59%. Cejudo holds a record of 16 wins and 3 losses. He stands at 5 feet 4 inches tall and he weighs in at 135 pounds. Although he's older at 36, he delivers slightly fewer significant strikes per minute at 3.93 with a 55.38% accuracy. Dvalishvili also boasts a higher takedown average and accuracy, indicating a potential grappling edge. The radar chart for both of these fighters is really similar, but Dvalishvili still has a superior performance in key areas like takedown defense and significant strike accuracy, which are crucial for maintaining control in the fight. Cejudo, despite the visual representation of lower percentages in these areas, still presents a well-rounded skill set that could very well be a challenge for Dvalishvili in unexpected ways. In the bar chart comparison, Dvalishvili's advantages are evident in takedown defense, takedown accuracy, and average submission attempts, suggesting a potential to dictate where the fight takes place. Cejudo's stats, however, show that he's not far behind, especially in significant strike defense, which could counterbalance Dvalishvili's striking ability. Dvalishvili's differential advantages underscore his superiority in strike attempts, landed strikes, and takedown percentage, indicating he could dominate both the striking and grappling exchanges. Cejudo's differential stats, while less pronounced, highlight his resiliency and efficiency, particularly in strike defense. The 1,000 fight simulation results heavily favor Dvalishvili, and that's probably an understatement. He has a win rate of 99.3% against Cejudo's 0.7%, which starkly contrasts with otherwise competitive stats, suggesting a potentially decisive factor in Dvalishvili's favor that may not be fully represented in the raw statistics. Now, the prediction models also are showing the same exact thing, with models like support vector machines and gradient boosting models, amongst all the other ones, overwhelmingly favor Dvalishvili. These models, alongside the odds probabilities, point to a overall consensus in data science that Dvalishvili has a higher likelihood of securing the win. Taking all of this data into account, I calculate a 65% chance of victory for Merab Dvalishvili. The models and fight simulations predict a strong advantage for Dvalishvili, who is likely to leverage his striking accuracy and takedown skill to maintain control. Based on the comprehensive stats, it seems probable that this fight will go the distance, with Dvalishvili's hand being raised at the very end. In the next fight, we have Geoff Neal versus Ian Garry. Geoff Neal steps into the octagon with a record of 14 wins and 5 losses, bringing significant experience into this fight. At 5 feet 11 inches tall and with a reach of 75 inches, Neal presents a significant striking rate of 5.22 per minute, though with a lower accuracy of 53% compared to Garry. On the other side, the undefeated Ian Garry, at 13 wins and no losses, towers at 6 feet 3 inches tall and boasts a slightly shorter reach at 74.5 inches. His stats are impressive, with a higher significant strike rate of 6.67 per minute and superior accuracy at 59%, along with notable takedown accuracy of 75%. The radar chart illustrates Neal's solid takedown defense, but reveals some areas where Garry outshines him, particularly in significant strike accuracy. Garry's radar profile indicates a fighter who's not only precise with his strikes, but also proficient in defending against them, suggesting a balanced approach between offense and defense. The bar chart analysis shows a mixed bag of advantages. Garry leads in significant strikes landed per minute and significant strike accuracy, which are critical for dictating the pace and impact of a fight. Neal's stats, however, indicate a strong takedown defense, which could negate Garry's grappling attempts and keep the fight standing where Neal prefers it. When we take a look at the differential stats, Garry's advantages in strike attempts and landed strikes are very clear, along with a significant height advantage, suggesting he might control the range and the pace of this fight. Neal's superior strike avoidance and takedown defense could be pivotal in countering Garry's offensive strategies. The 1,000 fight simulations present Geoff Neal as the favorite, winning 67.5% of the fights, while Garry won 32.5%, indicating a predictive edge for Neal despite the close competition in their striking stats. The models, on the other hand, they tell a completely different story. Most of the models, including support vector machines and gradient boosting, favored Ian Garry, with only the 1,000 fight simulations showing a preference for Geoff Neal. Taking into account all of the data, I calculate a 64% chance of victory for Ian Garry. The predictive models, alongside his superior striking stats and undefeated record, suggest that Garry is likely to maintain his distance with his reach and land precise strikes. The fight will likely be a display of Garry's striking clinic, possibly leading to a decision victory in his favor. In the next fight, we have Robert Whittaker versus Paulo Costa. Robert Whittaker brings a wealth of experience into this fight with a record of 25 wins and 7 losses, standing at 6 feet tall and maintaining a reach of 73.5 inches. Whittaker shows a significant strike rate of 4.5 per minute at a 45% accuracy. His counterpart, Paulo Costa, holds a 14-win, 2-loss record. He stands an inch taller at 6 feet 1 inch tall and has a reach of 72 inches. Costa outshines Whittaker in significant strike accuracy at 63% and lands more significant strikes per minute at 6.5, with a remarkable takedown accuracy of 75%. The radar chart highlights Costa's impressive significant strike accuracy and defense, but it also shows Whittaker's balanced skill set with a solid takedown defense and a competitive striking game, indicating his well-roundedness as a fighter. The bar chart tells a similar story, highlighting Costa's advantages in takedown accuracy and striking skills, while also highlighting Whittaker's striking defense and number of takedowns. When we look at the differential advantages, Whittaker has the edge in strikes attempted and has successfully avoided more strikes, suggesting a more evasive and volume-based approach. Costa's differential advantages in significant strikes landed show his precision and his power, indicating he may not need many opportunities to do damage here. The 1,000 fight simulation results strongly favored Whittaker with a 86% win rate over Costa's 14%, which implies a significant predictive advantage for Whittaker, which reflects his adaptability and his capabilities inside the cage. The prediction models seem to support this as well, as the majority favored Robert Whittaker, including the neural network model and the 1,000 fight simulations, which indicates the overall consensus in data science for Whittaker's chances of winning here. Taking all of the data into consideration, I calculate a 63% chance of victory for Robert Whittaker. The models, the fight simulations, and his balanced fighting abilities suggest Whittaker may use his tactical striking and defense to outmaneuver Costa's powerful strikes. Given the fighter's stats and propensities, this fight will likely be a striking battle, possibly culminating in a Whittaker victory by decision or a KO/TKO. Next fight, we have the main event, Alexander Volkanovski versus Ilia Topuria. Volkanovski, with a record of 26 wins and 3 losses, is known for his relentless pace, standing at 5 feet 6 inches tall and weighing 145 pounds with a reach of 71.5 inches. He boasts a significant strike rate of 6.19 per minute at a 60% accuracy. Topuria, undefeated at 14 wins with no losses, comes into the fight slightly taller at 5 feet 7 inches tall with a reach of 69 inches. He impresses with a higher takedown average of 2.19 and a remarkable takedown accuracy of 56%. The radar chart displays Volkanovski's balanced approach with superior takedown defense and significant strike accuracy, hinting at his ability to control the fight both on the feet and in preventing the fight from going to the ground. Topuria, while showcasing a lower significant strike accuracy, presents formidable takedown skills, indicating a potential strategy to try to bring the fight to the mat. The bar chart contrasts the fighter's attributes, with Volkanovski showing advantages in striking defense and accuracy, critical for outstriking Topuria. Conversely, Topuria's chart suggests his grappling ability with higher takedown and submission averages, suggesting his potential to dominate if the fight hits the mat. Analyzing the differential stats, Volkanovski's advantages in striking volume and avoidance are highlighted, which could be pivotal in a striking exchange. Topuria's differential advantages in knockdowns landed and his height suggest that he does have the tools to close the distance and impose his power. The 1,000 fight simulations overwhelmingly predict Volkanovski as the winner, and that also is probably an understatement. He has a 99.2% win rate over Topuria's only 0.8%, which significantly favors the champion's likelihood of retaining his title. The prediction models also confirm this, as most of them are going towards Alexander Volkanovski, but some of them are favoring Topuria. I think there's more to Topuria than the models are picking up in his stats, but considering all of the factors, I calculate a 51% chance of victory for Alexander Volkanovski. The fight simulations and his proven track record suggests that he might use his superior striking skills and his defense to maintain the distance and the control of this fight. With such a narrow margin, this title fight is expected to be highly competitive, and it could likely go the distance, with Volkanovski's hand being raised by decision, or maybe he takes out Ilia Topuria in the later rounds. Maybe Topuria is not used to the championship rounds. So now that we've covered all the fights, here are some potential bets that I think might be worthwhile to consider based on the prediction model strengths and unanimous predictions. Along with the odds, I've also given the final probability of victory for each fight in the result column here, and the return for moneyline bets based on the available odds. Thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe, as that'll help keep me motivated in creating these videos for you guys. Running this data and analysis and the prediction models and charts and graphs, like I said, takes hours every day and week, so I'd really appreciate the support here. Thank you guys. See you all in the next one.